Today I'm going to tell you another story. Well, I'm going to tell you about two different places that I've been when I was doing census. I went on, there was two different roads. One was in Hancock and one was in Rogersville. Well, the one in Hancock, and it was not Newman's Ridge, so if anybody asks, it was not there. This one went over into Vardy, Virginia. But the road was narrow and it was blacktopped. Well, as far as I went, it was blacktopped. It was about to turn into a dirt road, but it kept getting more narrow all the time that I went. When I went up and up and up, and I had a kind of a bad feeling, a lonesome feeling, and like you ought to not be by yourself feeling. You know, I don't know, just didn't feel safe. And so anyway, I kept going. You know, I just had to check homes. I didn't have to go talk to anybody. I didn't have to do none of that. Didn't have to get out. And so in this place was some different kinds of homes. Some that were just, you know, old and worn, and some were trailers, and some was really pretty places that didn't look like anybody lived. Maybe some people that were planning on retiring there had built. And then when I started going down the big ridge, there was one very pretty home on the right, and then there was after that spot, when I went on down a little bit, I started getting a real bad feeling, because I kept going down and down and down, because I went up forever, and so I kept going down, and it kept getting narrower. And you know, I had a four-wheel drive, but I still felt like, man, if this comes out, it don't come out somewhere, because I never did find out if it came out. I did find out later it did come on out. It really did end up out onto another road. But as growed up looking as it was getting, in the way that it got, I thought, it's going to run into nothing. But anyway, there was deep cliffs over on one side of it, and it just felt like the perfect spot that a body would be thrown out. I don't know why, but it just felt like death. I've had that feeling before. And there's barely enough room, because there was no other little roads or homes down through there that I could turn around, so I had to sort of turn around midstream in this little place, and that took some working to do. So when I did get turned around, I tried, I thought, oh Lord, because it was twisty and turny and steep, and I thought, my vehicle won't make it back up through here. And I had no cell service. I thought, there'll be nobody know where I'm at. And I thought, if this is a bad place, or if it is a creepy place, there's nobody going to even know what's happened to me. But anyway, vehicle did push on and made it. It was starting to get dusky, dark, and stuff, so that made matters worse. And I was never so happy to get on the main road again in all my life. Just cause, and I've meant to take Danny there many times. I've said, Danny, one day we're going to go that road, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. But anyway, the one in Rogersville, it didn't feel nearly as bad, but it did have a really shady character looking place. You know, you could just tell there seemed like no good up there. You know, you can look at places. Now, I'm not talking about being poor, and I'm not talking about not having much, or not being real well camped around your home. You know, I could do better myself, I guess, sometimes. But this place felt like, because I knocked a few times, because I did need to know the address, what number it was. So I did knock, and nobody answered. And there was vehicles all over the place, so you would think there had been somebody home. Well, nobody responded, and I knocked a couple of times, and that little voice told me, don't, just go on. So I went on. Well, I went on down, and it was a little bit out through there. It wasn't real steep or anything, but it had chug holes. I'm talking chug holes everywhere. So I went around this one bend, and then there was a log house there that, man, it was gorgeous, just gorgeous. But it was, nobody was there. I feel that they probably came in pretty often because apparently I know there was a dog, a German Shepherd, as a matter of fact, and he was in the background barking when I first got out because I was still trying to find the number of that address, and what it was. And so I did get out, and I'm pretty good with dogs. And so, I thought it was probably caged up because it hadn't come out. It hadn't come out to check me out way before. I wish it had. I wouldn't have got out. But anyway, I got to the door and started to knock, and around to the front porch there, it was a big German Shepherd. It was a dark one. It wasn't completely black, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful dog, and I love dogs. But I also know that if I don't know a dog, I might need to be a little careful because all dogs might not like me like I like them. So I played it cool. I've had to play it cool a few times in my life, not with just dogs, but with other things, with children even. And so I'm not going to even go there right now. But anyway, so I was cool. And, some dogs might pretend like, yeah, you could pet them, and then they might change their mind. So I never did pet it, but I never did act like it bothered me. I tried to say, well, hello there, buddy. How are you? And I just sort of talked to that dog like it was a person, I guess. And I talked some, but I didn't overeat it up, I didn't I would have loved to have petted it if I thought I'd been safe, but I know it was on guard, and that was its job. And my thought was just try to ease on. Try not to upset it and not act like it's you doing something, because it wasn't doing nothing. But dogs, if they're protecting the place, you can't never tell what they're going to do. So I did. I talked to it a little bit, and I never tried to pet him because I feel like I didn't want to push that. I just didn't feel like I probably should. And he kind of wagged his tail a little, and I think I was okay. And apparently I was, because he let me get back to my vehicle. And then I turned around out of that holler too. I did go a little farther, and it was a dead end, so I turned around and got out of there. And I was real happy to get out of that road too. So I have been some interesting places. I've been some beautiful places, but I've been some scary places too. So that's my story for today, and I'll try to have you some more.